dying because of poor grazing and also because of lack of water. This is just really to complement or to supplement what is provided in terms of water supply by the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Forestry, and this support would only continue for the duration of the drought relief program, after which the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Forestry would continue with the program as usual. So the program, as I have indicated, entails provision of food to households, assistance to provide water through tanked water services, and also installation of equipment at boreholes and other rehabilitation work of boreholes, and also in certain instances where it is warranted at other water points, we have also assisted to complete the laying of pipelines, but it is only where this is at small scale because the budget is limited. In regard to livestock support, there is free fodder provided to the most vulnerable farmers to a limited amount. There is also a livestock marketing incentive scheme to incentivize farmers to restock by selling their animals for slaughtering to abattoirs. They are provided with a subsidy in this regard. There are also subsidies provided for the acquisition of fodder and or leeks by those farmers who are above the threshold and do not qualify to get free fodder. We provide subsidies for transportation of livestock to grazing areas, as well as for the leasing of grazing. Now, in regard, louder. I thought I was speaking too loud. Okay, sorry. Now, in regard to food provision, there is a threshold established to qualify for food relief, and this threshold is set at 2,600 Namibian dollars per household per month. And this again is to ensure that the budget that is there, which is far short of what we need to provide support to everyone that would otherwise need support, is targeted to those that are most destitute and can otherwise not cope by themselves. The concern here is that if we don't set this threshold and we just provide assistance to everybody that requests for it, we may end up with a situation where the money is finished and we have not gone around everyone, and those who are at the back of the queue may actually be those that are most destitute, and we may now experience situations where people die of hunger. So if we are insisting on this threshold, we are not being insensitive to the needs of others who are not qualifying for this threshold. It is only that we want to prioritize those that are most destitute. And if there is something left over, or if there is a household that does not meet this threshold, but they are experiencing special situation that warrants that they are giving a special consideration, we welcome these cases being presented to us. After being reviewed by regional councils or governors' offices, we would then provide special support to those households on a case-by-case basis. But we are unable, because of financial reasons, to just abolish the threshold, as has been requested by some members of our society. Now, the package, with some of our compatriots has also indicated is not sufficient, is also agreed upon on the basis of the resources that are available and the number of people that we have to cater for. It consists of a bag of maize meal, a bag of 12.5 kg, tinned cash, tinned fish, and also cooking oil for every month during the period of the drought relief. We have noted in every region that we have been there to, that the number of needy households on the basis of which we arrived at the cost estimate for the drought relief program is actually much higher. In many instances, after registration, this number turned out to be four times the initial number that was estimated. In Khomas, the number is still much higher, although it is not 3-4 times. But we had initially estimated 1,229 households to qualify for support and therefore budgeted for food on the basis of this number. But as we heard from the governor, after verification by the region, they came to a number of 1,832 households. And we are now going to provide for this higher number starting from the beginning of the next month. So we did not leave them out because we were insensitive. It was based on the assessment that we had initially done, and the resources that were available could only enable us to provide for this number. But now that we have received confirmation from the region that this greater number is of people who are as destitute as the others, we will now look at these additional funds that we have raised through donations to also provide support to the others that were not being catered for previously. To save funds so that what is provided for under the drought relief budget only goes to acquisition of items that will be distributed instead of logistical issues, the Ministry of Defense, specifically the National Defense Force, has availed trucks to each of the regions to assist with the transportation and distribution of drought relief items, and they have also provided personnel to assist with the loading and offloading of these items, both the food for households and also animal feeds, except of course in areas where we don't have bases, but in Khomas we do. But in those areas where we don't have bases, we are assisting by providing some small amounts in order that the regions can recruit casual workers to load and offload this food. We also experienced a situation where some of these transport equipments that were availed were not in good conditions. They could not be deployed, and therefore we agreed to avail $500,000 Namibian to each of the regions to take care of the repairs of the trucks. And some of the trucks are also used to tank water to areas where we could not reach with pipe water or where we don't have boreholes. In regard to water, we also decided that in order to minimize delays, the allocation of the budget for water be provided to regional councils so that they identify the water infrastructures that are to be rehabilitated or to be equipped. And for this region, Khomas, we provided 1.5 million to the Regional Council of Khomas, and they are dealing with all the works related to water supplies. For livestock support, 250 farmers were identified to receive free fodder. In fact, we had decided that only 250 farmers would be provided with free fodder because of financial consideration, but we again received appeals from regions to reconsider this number, and we have agreed to not limit the recipients to 250 farmers, but to allow all the farmers that qualify in terms of the threshold, the income threshold per household, and also the number of livestock that they have. So they will now be registered beyond the number of 250, but provided that they meet the threshold of not more than 25 large stock units and 1 breeding stock, and not more than 130 small stock units and 1 breeding animal. To the extent that they meet this criteria, they would be considered for free fodder and also subject to availability of resources. So we have delivered so far 570 bales of animal feeds at brought out to be distributed to the farmers who are qualified to receive free fodder. We have received also for livestock marketing 42 claims with a value of 720,000 Namibian dollars, which claims have already been paid out, so people will have received their money. We received a second batch of claims under this program with 18 claims with a value of 112 Namibian dollars, and this is being processed and will be paid out the moment the processing is finalized. And as we were busy processing this, we received another batch with 3 claims with a value of 9,200 Namibian dollars, and this is also being processed and will be paid out as soon as the process is finalized. And here maybe I should emphasize the need for farmers to ensure that the claims are properly done, the forms are properly filled, you provide full information as requested and also accurate information. Because if you provide incomplete information, the forms will be referred back and the payments will not be made until all the information is provided and the correct information. We did not receive any request for subsidies for grazing or for transportation to grazing areas, but we did receive 42 claims for fodder and leak subsidy, but you heard what the update is in regard to that component. Now, the budget for the drought relief program was initially estimated at 570 million Namibian dollars. I heard some people saying that the government is asking for contributions because we have squandered state monies and now we don't have money to provide drought relief. It is not true. We actually agreed to a budget of 570 million, which is more than we have ever approved for the drought relief. So every year we actually provide more resources to provide relief to affected communities as a result of disasters. Now, out of that, we initially made a provision for 300 million from own sources, and then we raised an additional 150 million also from own sources, and also some came from the support that we received from the ADB. But now that we are likely to have a greater need based on the number of beneficiaries, because as I said, in many of the regions, the number is 3-4 times. It means that we would not be able to cater for everyone, even if we were to raise the total of 570 million. We would therefore like to reiterate the call that was made for all of us to contribute in whatever way that we can to complement what has been availed in terms of resources from government to provide relief to our compatriots. I have to express appreciations to those that have positively responded to the call to make donations, because we have received 104,879,574 Namibian dollars from foreign governments, international organizations, Namibian companies, and Namibian individuals, contributing 2% of their annual basic salary as appealed to by our government. I want to thank those that have done that and to remind those that are still to do so to kindly do that. And you can do that in whatever way it is possible for you because of your personal financial circumstances. Some people have decided to make once-off payment of the total amount. If you are not able to do that, you can pay it over in 6 months, in 3 months, or over a year, whatever. So long as we have your confirmation, you are going to make a contribution, and you have made your arrangement through a debit order or stop order, then we will be able to make commitments. And then we can say, for those farmers whose head is more than 25 large stock units, we will still assist you with up to so much, because we are estimating that you will be able to receive an additional so much. Thank you very much.